Well, this has certainly been a whirlwind 24 hours in the race for the White House, especially on the Republican side. In just the last hour, as you mentioned, Ohio Governor John Kasich suspended his bid for the presidency late last night after a disappointing finish in Indiana. Ted Cruz abruptly dropped out of the race, surprising a lot of people. So that means after all these months, the new leader of the Republican Party and its hope to win the White House is, believe it or not, Donald J. Trump.
I just cannot believe it. Really, I can't. I'm shocked.
The novelty is now reality.
Bottom line, you want something different.
I do, absolutely.
But many people are struggling to wrap their heads around the idea that next year Donald Trump could be sworn in as the 45th president of the United States.
Sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down.
I'm a little bit nervous about that, I can honestly say.
But in order to win, the man who has divided a Republican Party, and in some ways a country, now must unite it. And in New Hampshire, some big names are already on board.
If Donald Trump's the nominee, I'm supporting Donald Trump.
Republican candidate for governor Chris Sununu isn't worried about the Trump effect on the GOP ticket and won't even bother trying to speculate.
If there's anything that this election cycle has taught us is that nobody knows what's going to happen and no one can predict anything. So the best you can do is run your race, talk to the people, get out there and make the best case for you.
Also in Trump's corner, 2014 Senate candidate Scott Brown. Brown has become a close advisor to Trump, and he warns against underestimating someone who so far has taken on and taken down all comers.
To do it on a kind of a shoestring budget with a shoestring staff, not spending a heck of a lot of money, I mean, compared to the other folks who were out there spending, yeah, it's a new way to kind of do politics. I'm not sure who else could really have pulled it off.
All right, so the threat of a contested convention this summer appears to be gone, and Donald Trump could lock up the 1,237 delegates needed to clinch this nomination and start the coronation in the coming weeks. Now, one way many people think that Trump can win over skeptical Republicans is with his pick of a running mate. Speaking by phone on Good Morning America today, he hinted at what he's looking for.
I would like to have somebody that could truly be good with respect to dealing with the Senate, dealing with Congress, getting legislation passed.
All right, so let's look at some of the names that have been floated. The aforementioned Scott Brown, who says he would consider joining the ticket if asked, but Brown is actually pushing for Senator John Thune from South Dakota with the idea that Thune can bring in more conservative voters. Sarah Palin could be a possibility for that very reason, but ultimately might prove to be too divisive, which brings us to the man who just dropped out of the race less than an hour ago, Ohio Governor John Kasich, who Trump says he would be very interested in vetting as a running mate, but would Kasich join Trump? Let the speculation begin, and I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of it moving forward. Reporting live, Josh McKelvin, WMUR News 9.